Hola, chicos.
Hola! So this is podcast number 2 for Haircuts and Uppercuts, and we're here to discuss the Warrington Lara fight. What have you got to say about it, Rob? Right, so obviously Mystic Mac, aka Scott at the bottom there, he called it. I
Okay,
said,
Joe.
aka okay, Masvidal. But yeah, I said I had a feeling it could be AJ Ruiz. Funny, another Mexican fighter smashing up a Brit, innit?
Yeah, to be fair, my prediction, which obviously was correct, as we all know, it was a complete going against the grain thing. I quite enjoyed. I quite enjoyed the fight, to be honest. I didn't expect it one bit. I thought it would just be a. I did actually think it was going to be what you guys said. To be honest, just a lengthy fight and him just winning on points quite heavily. But yeah, it just looked. To me, it looked pretty. You could say lethargic from round 2 onwards, and that for me was obviously Lara just done him. Good
Yeah,
to watch.
it's thing is that Lara didn't do anything special. He wasn't
No,
working angles. He was very flat-footed. He walked him down, broke him down, and I noticed Josh was complaining to his dad in the corner that his shoulder hurt. Now, was that an injury he sustained in the fight? Did he go into the fight with that injury, or
yeah,
was he mentally giving up at that point? Then it could
I
be
think so.
anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, the main shot that I kept seeing as well when I watched it, I actually watched it a little bit earlier again, was Lara's really wide left hook to the body.
Yeah,
And I think that cost Warrington a hell of a lot more, having the 15, 16 months out the ring and receiving a lot of those, which he obviously hits hard, this kid. I didn't know anything about him before. But yeah, that was a really impressive shot from what I saw.
I think we need to give Lara a bit of credit as well.
Oh,
You said
definitely.
there, Luke, that he, marched him down. I noticed, especially after round 2, right at the beginning, for me, Lara was really utilising his jab. Warrington was rushed. I thought Warrington was rushing him a lot. If you watch the beginning of most rounds, at the moments where Warrington is rushing him, Lara's using the jab really well to keep him away. Then I found that for the first kind of minute of the round, and then Lara was then attacking, as Scott said, body shots, and I think especially Warrington, I think watching it back, I only saw him land a couple of body shots, which I think that may have cost him as well in the early rounds.
yeah. You go to the body to slow your opponent down, don't you? Take the
Yeah,
wind out of the sail. But
He wanted a tear.
yeah, he
Couldn't
tried
handle
going
it.
toe to toe with a Mexican with a KO percentage that is, let's face it, brilliant for a featherweight.
with nothing to lose.
Yeah, he's not a puncher. He's Josh
Yeah.
Warrington is an engine fighter. He
Yeah.
will
Oh,
go in there.
absolutely.
He will outwork you. He'll be faster than you, quicker feet, quicker hands, better movement. You say that, but you look at the fight he's just had, and he looks appalling compared to how he looked when he fought Selby. Selby,
Yeah.
slick fighter, and he managed to outbox him.
Yeah.
If you'd adopted them tactics, I reckon it would have been a routine night for him. But
I think it got in his head as well when he was during the fight, probably thinking in his head, this guy's got the beating of me at the moment. I've got to just prove myself, stand here swinging, and do the job. But that obviously cost him big time. And then obviously we got to round 4 anyway, which I'm sure we'll come on to properly. But
Yeah,
that's game
I
over.
mean, you don't
End of the night there for me.
you don't win fights by trying to take someone's head off, really, do you? And for
no,
me, that proved
Well,
Saturday night.
if you can, yeah. But
Yeah,
how many stoppages has Warrington even got? It's not many, is it?
exactly. Yeah,
Not many at all. So he's
and
not
that must have
he's not going to do
definitely,
it.
his engine must have, the tank must have been sapped after the first couple of rounds.
yeah,
Landing
Yeah,
those shots, getting hit back, getting
round
hurt.
2.
Yeah, and that's when we come into round 4. Obviously, we all know what happened there.
Yeah, just,
I can't believe it went on.
I
Well,
thought it should have been stopped. Yeah, I was screaming at the TV, "Stop the fight!"
well,
Yeah.
I text you boys, didn't I? As soon as it went down. Jesus Christ, Scott, you've got it. But I just
Complete guess.
lucky sod. 100 to 1 he was. If you'd have put £1 on him to win by knockout,
Yeah.
£100.
Well done, Scott.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it, and I didn't do it. But
But do you think that psychologically he just didn't get up for it? 50 months out the ring. I still, say
Yeah.
fair play to him for being in the belt because he was chasing greatness and wanted to get rid of the politics. But
yeah,
you think 50 months out the ring, you're trying to chase these big fights, and then you're fighting some guy no one's really ever heard of. It's got to be hard to get out of bed to train for someone like that, I'd imagine.
Again, as well, that's probably why he's just gone in there and tried to take him out in the first 2 rounds
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
got nowhere with it.
I never
didn't realise how good this kid
sorry.
was.
Yeah, I never buy that as too much of an excuse because obviously you're a fighter, Luke, and me and Rob aren't. But for
Used
me,
to be.
yeah, well, yeah.
Fat now.
But for me, going into thinking about going into a fight, like they say in every like in a fight press conference and all that and interviews, that you're putting your life on the line at any point. Like anyone can go into a fight and knock someone out and do serious damage. So for me,
Yeah.
that's not an excuse getting up for fights like that. I get what you're saying. The world champion wants to unify all that kind of thing and go further in the career, and he probably thought that fight was a step down. But that guy, it's the fight of his life, that one, and he's proved it and he's done it. So for me, I don't buy those excuses. But
There's also other Scott.
It could be a thing. Yeah.
There's also other excuses. I mean, I saw a lot online. You get a lot of what they call keyboard warriors, which I find quite funny. But a lot of them are saying, "Oh, it was a lucky punch to knock him down the 4th,"
No,
which I didn't think it was. But whether it's a lucky punch or not, that's the name of the game, isn't it?
It's boxing. You are
To hurt
punching each
someone,
other.
there's no lucky punch for me.
Yeah.
So,
He did not mean to throw it.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It's there's no such thing as a lucky punch in boxing.
Yeah. So I think I gave Warrington. I can't remember what I said to you guys. Was it? I can't remember again. Was it two possibly? Possibly 3 rounds at absolute max, but I think even 2 is possibly generous.
Yeah.
But not that it matters. Not that it matters now anyway. Have you seen the scorecards actually from the fight?
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
I haven't seen them. That's what I was asking. I haven't seen them.
They had I think they had Warrington up, which was just some criminal, isn't it?
Did they?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I guess another talking point as well would be like we said about round 4, but having Foster was the ref again, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I know everyone goes back to George Groves and stuff like that, and the Froch fight with him being the ref for that, but that had to be stopped on 4.
It should have been stopped. If that was the other way around, if that was Lara, who,
easy.
Who
done.
got up and stumbled back to his corner. He bumped into him walking back to the point.
He did. I'm surprised he didn't help him back. Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't help him back. Yeah, mate, come on.
If that was the other way around, that fight would have been stopped, and it should have been.
Yeah, and then it's a routine win for Warrington. On to the next one.
Yeah, well, if it would have been a loss, but yeah, if it was the other way around, it would have been a routine win, like you say. But
yeah, sorry, yeah,
yeah, I know what you meant. But I love boxing, right? I'll sit there and I'll watch 2 journeymen having a fight at York Hall. I love it.
Oh yeah, they're the best ones.
They are, but it gets to the point where it becomes uncomfortable viewing, and I'm sat there thinking, Jesus Christ, this is shortening his career. If he is the same fighter after that fight, I'll be shocked because that was a beating.
Yeah,
horrible.
You don't come back from a knockout like that. It takes a while. If they put a rematch clause in very quickly, that's the worst thing they can do, in my eyes.
Well, they have got one, haven't they?
They've got one, but I mean, it's say if Warrington was for example, Dylan White Povetkin. For me, that's happening far too quickly because of the way he got knocked out. Then knockouts like that affect you. For me,
I don't know though, because he put Povetkin down, didn't he? So,
but it's in the manner he got knocked out in.
but
you know,
Yeah, that's true.
I think that one punch knockout, yes, there's going to be damage, but
Yeah,
a lot less.
Warrington was getting beat.
He was getting
Warrington was
battered.
getting beat from
Yeah.
from what
From pillar
2,
to
3, 4
post.
onwards.
His
Yeah.
head was bouncing around like a space opera on the pavement after lockdown. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, I think even worse for me, like he came out in the fifth round. You know, he was taking heavy shots. He landed one good left hand for me at the end of the round, but halfway through round 4, I thought if I was this corner, I would have pulled him out of there.
His
Yeah.
dad's never doing that.
He just shouldn't have. He didn't look like defending. He didn't look like fighting back. He didn't look like defending himself. He got caught a
No.
couple of times in that round, and he's just taken a heavy beating in the round before.
Yeah, he was, and like I said, Lara did nothing special.
No, he's not going to be a world beater, is he? Let's be honest.
No.
Like he's not gonna take over the division and run away with all the belts. Like he'll probably step up to the bigger boys in there. Well, actually, Warrington was one, but it would go against some of the ones that Warrington's even fought and beat and possibly lose. Whether that's because Warrington had an off night as well, but yeah, he's not going to be a world beater, is he?
Yeah, and I mean, let's be
No.
honest, Warrington's record stands for itself, doesn't it? The past few
Yeah.
fights, as we spoke
Yeah.
before, you don't beat people like Frampton like that if you're not
No.
good.
Oh no, yeah, I honestly think it was an off night for him, and it could
Yeah.
be an accumulation of not getting up for the fight, ring rust, no crowd. I think that played a massive factor in the fight.
Yeah.
Personally.
By the way, there's no way that we will see this rematch with that hasn't got any fans there.
No, oh no, God,
Absolutely,
no.
absolutely no. A, because he won't be recovered in time, but Eddie, if he's even still with him, then I don't know how many fights he signed with him for, but there's no way that fight's happening without any fans. No chance.
It can't happen without any fans because
Because Josh might lose again.
yeah, but he's going to feed off the energy, isn't he? When you're
That's it. Yeah.
obviously you guys are massive football fans.
Yeah.
Even more so, I imagine, in boxing than football. But when you go watch Watford or you go watch Liverpool, and there's thousands of people.
Or Millwall, can I just add? We like to go to Millwall now.
That's going to spur the players on. You think in boxing, if there's 20,000 people in the O2, for instance, or thousands of people filling Ellen Road, they're all there to watch Josh Warrington if he's fighting. So you're going to feed off of that
It's
energy.
big. Yeah, that one punch you throw that's connected and the crowd just go mad. That's straight in there. Adrenaline goes mad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought in round 8, I thought he was sort of getting. He wasn't getting back into it, but he looked like he actually knew where he was. He threw a couple of good combinations, but not combinations really. He looked active again, and he's landed one, nothing big, but if you got the crowd there, you got the Leeds crowd in there, that's gonna.
Yeah.
I do think that would spur him on.
He'd have thrown a few more.
Yeah, I mean, I think the result would have been exactly the same, but he may have won another. He may have got a few more points in that round, but I think the damage was done early on. Yeah, I think that would have happened either way, whether fans there or not. If I'm being honest,
he was hurt.
He shouldn't have been there after 4.
No, that fight should have been stopped, and that's not the only fight that should have been stopped early. Granted, it was only an extra 20 to 30 seconds in the British title fight against Wood and Mould, but like we said earlier, when he got put down in the 9th round, Reece Mould gets back up and it should have been stopped. He didn't know where he was, and Lee Wood comes in, bang, 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 several unanswered punches, and he's out again. It was.
I mean, yeah, I do think the 10 count in boxing needs to be reviewed and looked at. You've seen the UFC, people get knocked down the minute they look out, the fight's called. You don't get a count. You don't get back your corner. Show me around. I know it will probably ruin fights, but when we're talking about boxer safety, I mean, I find it ludicrous that there's more issues in boxing with health than there is in mixed martial arts. And the simple thing is the fights get called if you're hurt in UFC.
Yeah, I think there's more. I think that on that subject, there's more of a chance of you getting the chance to fight the guy again. Obviously, you have the rematch clause in boxing, but it's just I think there's more of a chance of you getting the opportunity again. So if you
Yeah.
get your one big boxing fight, then that's probably it.
Yeah, but I mean, for example, with
it
Deontay Wilder
sucks.
Tyson Fury fight and the Joshua Ruiz fight, they both should have been pulled out of that ring.
And
rounds
also
before
as
they
well,
were.
sorry, that the distance, the length of time between boxing fights
Mm.
is a lot more than UFC. So
Yeah,
if you get a rematch, you're looking at a few like months, like 2, 3, 4 months
Mm.
before the camps to go for. But UFC, you can go probably half that time, and they'll just get straight back in there.
Yeah,
So
no,
that
good point,
also
mate.
affects
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, there's less politics in the UFC, isn't there? You know,
Politics.
yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
You had a bit.
politics.
Never heard
You had a
of
bit.
them.
Nah,
The tricky little numbers.
Magician.
that's what Lennox Lewis calls it, politics.
That's done me, that one.
So, shall we move on to Kiko Martinez getting absolutely robbed?
Yeah, I did watch
Yes.
that as well. I no words for it. He got robbed.
Yeah.
A draw if you're lucky.
Yeah,
You know, it wasn't.
Yes.
You know, if it was a draw, you know, I wouldn't have called it a robbery.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, oh well, you know, I can see how that can happen. Would
You give it the legit rematch.
Yeah, and you know,
That's what
I
you do
don't
at
know.
that point. Yeah.
I don't know if they was watching a different fight or they wasn't watching at all. But it's
What
just,
what was two of the cars? A 118, 112, was it?
one was 118, one. Yeah,
and Howard Foster was the only one who had Barrett winning,
Yeah.
but not by
Saw
miles,
that.
which is a shock.
well, that's a surprise, isn't it?
Yeah, he's normally the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want Britain to become the next Germany of
America.
boxing.
But
so to speak.
Eddie summed it up, didn't he, in his interview after, just saying like how I think he said that why he shouldn't have even bothered. Martinez, why did he bother? Because like he's never with scorecards like that, you haven't got a chance. And he didn't want those. Yeah, how would he be able to get these big name fights? Not that Martinez is massive anymore, but it was once fairly big in the division. But how is he going to get people over?
Yeah.
The big name stars from across the pond or even anywhere over the world, if you get in scorecards that actually literally haven't got a chance.
No.
And again, with that's just going to drive people away from the sport, in my opinion. You know, someone
Yeah.
who's watching boxing for the first time that night would have watched. I'm not going to bother watching this again.
Is it a case as well? Obviously, just thinking about UFC, like we said a little while ago, is it a case of having? I know boxing went from kick fuck out of each other for as long as you can until someone wins, and then some point it went to 15 rounds, and then down to 12. Is there too many rounds?
No, I don't think there's too many rounds.
No, I don't think there is.
I think it's a question.
Yeah, it's
Too many points of view, too many rounds.
Yeah, I suppose the more rounds.
I'm not saying that's my opinion, but
yeah. For me, again, I know I do it a lot, but you shouldn't really compare the two sports, should you? Mixed martial arts and boxing, they are different. They run different, but for me, yeah, the reason why you don't get as much controversy in the UFC or Bellator, they kind of work like a knockout tournament as such. And also boxing, there's so many politics in it, like politics that really shouldn't be there. You shouldn't have all these organising bodies. British Board of Control, let's be honest, you've got people there who don't really know boxing judging, and that goes across the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, they do know boxing. That's the problem.
You telling me Adelaide Bird knows boxing?
Well, she's Nevada State Athletic Commissioner.
Well,
Isn't
exactly.
She, these judges have been judges for a long time, and is it time they got rid of them?
Like what you just said, Luke, as well. But something that you looked at the comments on the Sky thing from Saturday. So even some of the tweets, I think Bellew had it, and who was commentating? Matthew Macklin, ex boxers, and they both. I think the tweet from Bellew and what Macklin was saying throughout the fight. I know obviously it was clearly a knockout and all that sort of thing, but I think even the Zelfa Barrett one as well. They were sending the tweets in and saying that all what we were thinking. So I don't know what the judges are judging it on. I know it's all personal preference and it always has been and probably always will be, but it's I don't get what they're seeing.
Yeah,
because unless there's a written rule book of this is what you judge boxing on and mark it from there, then we're obviously I don't know, we're all stupid. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Or there could be, boxing has always had a history of being a pretty corrupt sport. I know people now say it's always bad, but we just don't know that.
No,
Yeah.
you never do. But props to Eddie Hearn for kicking off.
Oh yeah,
on
fair
live
play
TV.
to him on that.
I didn't expect that.
No, I didn't, but I'm glad he did it.
Yeah.
But props to Zelfa Barrett. He stood there whilst Eddie, indirectly saying, "I think you lost, man."
He kind of agreed with him until I think they brought Kiko over, and I think they said something like Kiko had won, or like Zelfa, you lost it, and he was like, "No, I won that," which is fair enough. You're gonna, I guess you're gonna.
He's gonna say that.
But he knew it was close. But having 118, 112, or whatever it was, he must be sat there thinking, like, "Fuck me, I've got away with that one." Jesus Christ.
I really wonder if that have any implication for Eddie Hearn, because we saw what happened with Teddy Atlas over in America. He every boxing card he was calling these people out.
Yeah.
Saying this is disgusting. And he ended up getting banned from. I know Eddie Hearn's a completely different kettle of fish because he's a promoter, but back then you had a top trainer. He was training heavyweight, training champions all over divisions, and he disagreed with commissions, and so they banned him. They just banned him from everywhere.
Yeah, luckily for Eddie, let's face it, he's probably
he runs boxing pretty much.
Yeah, he's the biggest promoter in the world.
That's why, like we touched on the last podcast, that if he does manage to get proper in there and sort out the organisations just to have him one, then all for that massive. That will bring boxing back to the top, because UFC there's always been a bit of a that between them both, I think, and that'll definitely put boxing way back up there, I think.
Yeah. If boxing took on a model like that, it needs change. It does need change, especially in the States. But if it had that change, it would overtake UFC, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yes, and like Rob was saying earlier, if you're introducing someone to boxing and you show them that fight, they're gonna go, "Well, I don't understand this sport." It's not like cricket or football or rugby. It is subjective. But when only two people in the world see it as a wide margin win for Barrett, how is someone who's never watched the sport before going to go, "Yeah, I understand
hang on.
Exactly.
What's happened there?
I mean, that's how bad it is in boxing. So in football, okay, you get dodgy decisions, you get decisions that are wrong, but you won't have a referee come on and say Watford are playing Liverpool. You won't get a referee come on and be like, "Oh well, I'm sending off the whole Watford team and their bench to make sure Liverpool win." In boxing, you have these scorecards that are just ludicrous. Everyone in the world watch it is going, "How? Like, he's come out, he nearly got knocked out twice, but he's won it by 8 rounds apparently." It's bad for the sport. It doesn't give it a good name. It needs to change to get people back watching it.
Yeah, but all in all, I think it was actually quite a good night of boxing. Apart from the disgraceful refereeing and judging in a couple of fights,
like I said to you earlier,
shouldn't have been allowed to carry on. Bad for British boxing. Kiko Martinez getting robbed. Bad for British boxing. But other than that, I thought it was a much better night than I expected.
Yeah, and the spectacle, like the aura of Josh Warrington losing to someone that, well, not lowly rated, but somebody you've never heard of. Again, that's exciting. That was exciting. People watching that will go, "Oh, brilliant! I'm going to tune in next week."
And the rematch will happen.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a big fight.
So then people will get involved with it. Yeah. Like I said at the end of the last one, is it a good thing? Then it turns out it might have been, especially the way that he done it as well. If he lost on points, which he wouldn't have done because it was in England and with the dodgy judges, like we just said, then no one would have watched a rematch. But now, because of that, then it is an exciting fight.
Would you guys want to see a second?
Yeah, I would.
For the style that we know that Warrington brings, and obviously what Lara does, which is just, by the look of it, just swing. And he has obviously got skill, clearly, but he likes a punch, so he throws him, and he's got a chance of knocking him out. Then
I'd love to see it again. As well, that the first round was brilliant, wasn't it? Just standing toe to toe. Trying to take each other out.
I saw Matt. He's commented on a couple of our posts already on Instagram. I saw Matt the day after, and he he doesn't particularly know boxing too well, and he literally turned it on just as they were about to start, and he was like, "If this is boxing, like I'm all over it. Like,
It's all over it, yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
new fan."
Well, I'll tell you
Which
what
is
we'll have to do.
right.
We'll have to promise Matt we'll never take him to a card with Ricky Burns on. No
I said
offense,
then,
Ricky Burns, you are a great fighter. But
Yeah, Ricky Burns.
I'm sure he'll definitely see this, Rob.
yeah. Sorry, Matt.
No, I meant Ricky Burns.
Oh, but yeah. Well, if he's that bored, he will, won't he?
Is you know, when I said I had a feeling it could be AJ Ruiz all over again, you know, I generally did think that. I wasn't saying that just for something to say. And that's why I will watch it again, because you know we know what happened in the first AJ Ruiz fight. We know what happened in the second. You know, is Josh going to be able to have the ability to take his lessons from his loss, adapt his game plan, and overcome? I think he can, but at the same time, if he can't, he's going to get hurt again.
Yeah, and the truth,
And I don't want to see that. I want to see him win. But at the same time, it's going to be such a spectacle to watch, because you know, Lara's clearly got the power to hurt him, which makes me want to watch it.
And he didn't only hurt him once, did he? He hurt him quite a lot in that fight.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
It was.
No, I'm all in for it. You know, the next one's pay-per-view though.
Should we go in Mexico? You can all buy one of these.
We don't need to. We'll just stand underneath it.
It's not an umbrella.
Looks like one.
Can we have an honourable mention though for Josh Warrington's dad, Sean O'Hagan? What is with that haircut?
O'Hagan.
Oh,
hair gone.
Yeah.
His hair needs to be gone. Man. He looks like one of them twins from Rugrats, man.
I don't know which one it is. I know exactly who you mean.
Yeah.
I think it was a night for hair,
one
to
was
be
pretty
honest.
bad, but he's put me to shame, isn't he, with that?
I'll say yours is bad at the minute. Mine's just
bad,
always
but-
like this.
Yeah, but yeah, his dad. Thank you. Maybe
So I thought it was I was going to comment on Barrett's as well, because that was like a Spider-Man logo. I thought he's gone full out braided, like middle part in. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest, but it was a night for the haircuts, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's happening when he earns there. It looks like he's got his wife to have a go in it. It looks awful.
So it's locked down for you.
Yeah,
Get the barbers back open.
But I honestly think the fight of the night though was a British title fight. What about you boys?
I'll be honest with you. Like I said to you earlier, I didn't tune in for the whole card because I didn't plan to anyway. I wasn't going to sit there and watch some ones that I didn't actually know who they were. To be honest with you as well. I said that to you earlier. So I only watched the chief undercard and the main event.
Yeah.
I did enjoy both, but for me, only out of those two, because that's all I can do it on. It probably was the main event, just because of the shock, the way that Lara came in and done what he obviously wanted to do, and Josh gave him that platform to do it on, which is great. But that was probably my fight of the night out of the two that I watched. I know it's not or not, but yeah, just out of those two.
I mean, same for me. I watched two or three of the fights, but as a main event, you know, in these times everyone's locked down, getting people into boxing. That was the fight you wanted. Again, a fight British boxing needed. And hopefully this kid has got the whole of Mexico watching. So
yeah, hopefully
that'll be good.
He's the uncrowned IBF heavyweight champion now, isn't he? Really?
Is he going to do the Tyson Fury lineal status?
But,
lineal IBF.
Did he beat the man that beat the man that beat the man? Though.
So, unfortunately, he's got nothing out of it, is he? Apart from probably half decent bank balance after that, and a rematch that he's got to give.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because he any other night that would have been he would have won a world title.
Yes, no, absolutely, yeah. Unfortunately for him.
No, it's going to be good. I actually hope he gets signed to Matchroom USA, so we can keep an eye on him, because no one had heard of him really before
he's gonna bring something, isn't he?
before the weekend. And I think if Eddie manages to get him to sign it to Matchroom USA, we've all got.
I think he will though, won't he?
We've all got the DAZN app, so we can watch all them fights for $1.99 a month. Wicked,
I
isn't
got
it?
it actually, but I should do.
You're not downloaded it.
Okay, you haven't got it.
Because I'm tight.
Cheapskate. So obviously we'll meet again in a couple of days, and we'll have another pod out hopefully by Friday, depending on how quick I can get done editing. But obviously next Saturday, I think it's on paper a better weekend than what the weekend's just gone was on paper. So hopefully it delivers again.
For a main event, that's it's as good as they come.
Yeah, it's a
title on the line
fight.
as well. So yeah, I can't say his name very well, so I'm not going to try. But I do obviously hope that Kelly wins. That's the easy one to say. And what?
David Avanesian. He's got three losses and one draw, but he's decent. It's probably Well, you think Josh Kelly's only had 10 fights, and he's going in against someone with a record of 26-3-1 and 14 KOs. It's a big ask. Avanesian's no longer at the peak of his career, but I wouldn't say he's at the end of it yet. And
still European champion for a reason, and he's European champion. So, and it's a fight that's 2.5 years in the making. They've had it made 4 times. I think it's 4 times. Well, this is the 4th time. But that'd be a good one. Looking forward to it, definitely.
Florian Marku, I'm looking forward to that fight. And Robbie Davis Jr. is on the undercard as well. So I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I didn't know that, to be honest, but happy that he's on there. It's going to be that's another decent night.
Yeah, and you've got Jordan Gill on there, lower down on the card, but
yeah. This has got to be honest. Next week has got more of a undercard that I'm interested in, and more people that I know of. Obviously, I know of the guys that have just fought this weekend, but not massively interested in watching them, which is why I didn't. But this weekend, it's a good card.
Better matchups as well. They're all quite close matchups at the weekend.
Yeah,
it's better, definitely.
I suppose it comes down to money in the pot, doesn't it? Without the gate.
Yeah,
money,
like we covered last week. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Warrington might not have gone in as a world champion, but he would have had a world champion's purse. So the main event is for the European title, so they're going to get paid less money. They're not as big of a name as Josh Warrington is. So that's why I reckon the undercard's better. That's why I'm looking forward to it, because it's going to be a night of consistent good fights.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be wicked.
Obviously, we'll cover more later in the week, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be good. And what hat are you going to wear next week, Rob?
I don't know, but I'm going to give a shout out to Watford FC beating Bristol City 6-0 at the weekend. So tune in to watch highlights for that.
Another podcast up for you on Friday. We'll record it on Thursday. And we'll go in depth on Saturday the 20th fight card. And hopefully Scott will get his prediction right again. So some of you can make some money.
1-0. 1-0, baby.
Yeah, Mystic Mac. And right, I hope you all enjoyed it. And click the like and subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram @Haircuts and Uppercuts, and the same on Facebook. Thank you very much.